I'm going to be talking about filing a foreign entity. Now, this is going to be a huge trick. A lot of times you can run out of funding options. You might have run out of banks. You might have exhausted all the good banks, or you might be in a state where the banks are just really not giving out the bag, right? So if you're looking to get funding from Key Bank is known for giving you $50,000 in no docs, right? But the problem is, if you don't live in that state, they're not going to give it to you. If your LLC is not in that state, they're not going to give it to you. But there's a way around it, and that is going to be basically filing in a foreign entity, right? So one of the things that you got to do to basically get prepared for that is you got to verify first that the business name is going to be available in that state. All right, you can just do a quick Google search, just to figure out if it's available, and if it's not, all you got to do is just file for a DBA, doing business as. All right. Then what you're going to want to do is you want to find your local agent, right? And then also get a business address in that state. You can just get a virtual address. You can go to Regis, you can go to iPostal, you can go to Opus, but you just get a business address in that state. Make sure that it is a actual brick and mortar building. All right. It can't not just be a mailbox. All right. Or Staples or UPS, as we talked about before. Okay. And you also want to make sure that your certificate of good standing is good. All right. You make sure that you paid your annual fees, and make sure that you have your articles of organization. All right. So this is going to be the prep work before you actually go to the funding. All right. Well, before you actually go to these banks. All right. So after that, then you're going to go ahead and fill out the application for your authorization. Then you're going to have to go ahead and pay the application fees for the state, and then pay the taxes and fees. All right. So I'm actually going to show you what it's going to look like. All right. This is how quick and easy it is. All right. So if you just do, say for instance, you're trying to, go to Key Bank. Key Bank is in Pennsylvania. You can just do a Google search, a registered agent in Pennsylvania, and, just find somebody that will basically do everything for you. And, just go ahead and fill that out. All right. All right. So once you got all that filled out, you have all your documents. Now you're going to go ahead and take that trip. So whether you want to take a plane trip, even if it's $200, cool. It might be well worth your trip, because $200 for a plane trip, but you might get $50,000, $100,000 in funding. I think it's worth it. All right. But here's the trick to it. When you go to the bank, do not show them your ID. All right. Your ID is going to show your actual address. That's going to be questionable. So make sure you bring your passport and show them your passport. All right. When they ask you for your address, use your virtual address from the state that you just got it in. All right. So if you're in Pennsylvania, show them the virtual address of the business in that state. All right. Make sure that you have your registered agent along with the billing address. Bring all your LLC documents, your articles of organization, certificate of good standing, because you never know what they may ask. And while you're there, open up a business checkings and a savings. All right. When you're done with that, ask them if they have a merchant account. Open up a merchant account with them. And then same time you open up this account, go ahead and apply for the business credit cards. If you get approved for one, cool. If they got another one, go ahead and try for another one. Make that trip well worth the value. Okay. So how much is all this actually worth? It's priceless. Like I said, you might spend $200-$300 on the application, $300, maybe on the plane trip, $500, but now you got, lines of credit, listen, this is what you got to do. That's just one bank. You do that. Or, what I would recommend is if there's 2 or 3 banks in that state, while you're out there, you can go visit them banks at the same time. All right. So this right here opens up the possibility to get funding in all 50 states, as opposed to just being limited to, say, if you got just 5 or 6 banks. All right.